Episode 12. Did Elon Musk create the simulation? Friendly warning. This is a fun episode, and should not be taken too seriously. This month on AWLIAS, are we living in a simulation? We ask an important question that nobody seems to have considered before. Can you name one human being who is trying to get us to live on another planet? A human who tells us time and time again that the simulation likely does indeed exist. Do you know of anyone else who builds hyperloops, self-driving cars, and flamethrowers, all in their spare time? What other car manufacturers creates built-in video games into their self-driving vehicles? Stands on a global stage with a hammer in hand, millions watching, ready to try and damage his newly unveiled truck. What other human has warned us so strongly about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence? This person has recently been compared to a real-life Tony Stark. He's also been compared to Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and Mr. Henry Ford. Humans who would all go on to change the way we, human. The person we are referring to here is, of course, Mr. Elon Musk. But what if the biggest fan of simulation theory is more than just a supporter? What if Elon Musk created the simulation itself? Hello everyone. This is the final fun episode of Season 1 of AWLIAS, Are We Living in a Simulation? Shortly, I will be revealing details of Season 2. But more on this at the end of this episode. Today, we have the serious business of asking both an important and amusing question. Did Elon Musk create the entire simulation? Before you ridicule me, remember, this series has all been about having some fun and exploring different concepts on simulation theory. However, the possibility that Elon Musk may have something to do with the simulation is perhaps not as comical as it may first sound. If Elon is successful with his long-term mission at SpaceX to get humans to live on another planet, then he would have achieved something that no other living species has ever done. What gives Musk such strong beliefs that we can succeed? What drives him to work 70-hour weeks to push for multi-planet habitats? How has he been so successful at everything he has achieved? Is it just a coincidence? Or does Elon know something that we don't? But the most difficult question, yet still possible: did Elon create the simulation that we all live in? No. I'm not suggesting he is a deity. But Musk is constantly trying to move society forward with an energy and drive that is almost fiction-like. Musk had also technically created virtual worlds long before we had ever heard of him. He claims he got into coding and an interest in technology by playing lots of video games when he was younger. He recently admitted that it had way bigger knock-on effects than people may realize. Many may not know what I am about to reveal. But even as a child, Elon Musk was busy coding his first simulation. Let's pause for a moment and take a quick trip back in time. 1983. Pretoria, South Africa. A young lad, first name Elon. This boy was already hard at work, creating his first video game. This space fighting simulation was called Blastar. He created this modest virtual world on a Commodore VIC-20 machine. So yes, calling it a world may be a bit of a push. A few moving pixels on a dark 2D canvas may not be impressive today. But nonetheless, Musk was already creating virtual worlds before he was even a teenager. In Elon's first ever game, you play the role of a lonely space pilot. The player's aim is to destroy an alien freighter carrying both deadly bombs and status-beamed machines. On first impressions, the game looks familiarly like Space Invaders. However, the big difference: the player can pilot their ship in multiple directions. The young Elon clearly never wanted to be stuck on Earth. He wanted the player to explore the rest of our universe. 12-year-old Musk was already foretelling what he would later go on to do. From creating virtual spacecraft, to building, well, actual spacecraft. The full video game code that the young Musk wrote was published in PC and Office Technology, a small trade publication at the time. Already, Musk was beginning to share his imagination with the rest of the world. Fast forward 3 decades, and we now find Elon launching real rockets into space. Rockets that can take off and land, just like in a video game. He continues to warn us of the dangers of remaining on Earth. He continues to warn us all of the upcoming possible population crisis. He continues to warn us all about the potential risks of artificial intelligence. He continues to overachieve. Again and again. Yes, he has been close to failure. But there always seems to be miracles. Last-minute breakthroughs. Saving Tesla one Christmas Eve, for example. Yes, he has his doubters and critics. Many of them. But none of these challenges seem to faze him. Selling millions of electric cars and trucks in order to fund a new home on Mars. Is he simply a super smart but mortal human? Or is there maybe more to all of this? Elon Musk has said, time and time again, that we are highly likely living in a simulation. One of the most successful humans of modern times is constantly telling us that we are likely nothing more than binary digits. But is this all just a mathematical guess on Elon's part, based on nothing but Moore's law? Or does he know more than the rest of us? Is there a more substantial reason why he is so certain of simulation theory? Did Elon Musk really create his first video game back in 1983? Or had he already created one long before? But even if we consider hypothetically that Elon may have created the simulation, the next question surely is, why is our world simply a sandbox, made for a small number of playable characters to explore? Perhaps just you, Elon, and me? Or is the universe part of the bigger simulation, an adventure game that we need to explore, to live on other planets, to find other aliens? Is the world around us Blastar 2.0, or was that little video game that Elon created way back in 1983 actually Blastar 2.0? Are we perhaps the original Blastar? Blastar 1.0 perhaps? This concludes our fun series 1 on AWLIAS. Are we living in a simulation? For the last year, we have covered fun topics on simulation theory, including Moore's law, consciousness, artificial intelligence, and video game advancements. For Series 2, I will shortly be announcing a whole new collection of episodes on simulation theory, backed by an exciting new launch on AWLIAS.com. More on this very soon. Please subscribe so you don't miss what we do next. See you next time, friends on AWLIAS. Are we living in a simulation?